In this video, we are going to create the arrays. Array is nothing but a collection of the values, or you can say the group of the values which is in the container. So for creating the array, let me prepare the one new class. I'm going to give the name as arrays. Arrays class as the startup object in the solution in the project. Array is nothing but collection of the values, right? So now let me prepare the collection of the numbers. So for preparing the collection of numbers, let me take the array over here. I'm going to use for whenever we're going to prepare the array, you should use the this symbol, open bracket and close bracket. This indicates the array. So now int array, this means that integer array, right? So here I'm going to I'm going to take the reference, let's say numbers group. Here I'm going to use the new int 2. This means that numbers group here I'm going to insert the two values in the numbers group. For add the two numbers in this numbers group, we have to use the index signature. So for that, let's take the numbers group and 0 is equal to, I'm going to give the value first of all 100, and the numbers group here I'm going to use the 1 is equal to 200. So now here 2 means the numbers group can accept the two values. So the value should be the numbers because of integer I have taken, right? So for that, so to store the two values, I have taken the signature, index signature. I mean that whenever I are going to insert the record, always the new record it should be start with the 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So in the group, in the 0th index, I have inserted the 100 value. In the numbers group, in the first index, I have to take in the 200 values. Now numbers group numbers group having the two values, that is the 100 and 200. Now let's print the values. For example, let's say console.writeLine. Write down the 0th index of the numbers group. The same way, I want to prepare the one more message, that is first index of the numbers group. Now if you see the output, now you see that in the numbers group, 0th index having the 100 and the first index having the 200. Now if you try to print the numbers group, let's see what is the output. Now execute the code. So now we can see instead of the numbers group, that is the 100 and 0, I got the system.int32. Here system is nothing but namespace, and int32 is nothing but integer group, integer and array. So int32 and int both are same only, that there's a naming convention is different. I see the integer 32 array symbol. Okay, here the capacity of the numbers group, we can store the only two values because I have said that 2. For example, if you try to give the extra value for this numbers group, it will cause the error, runtime error. Numbers group I'm going to give the 2 here. Okay, so I'm going to give the, as of now I'm going to give the 300. So now if you see that I didn't see the any error, I didn't see the any compile time error, but after once you are going to execute the program, then I will receive the error, that is called the runtime error. So for example, if you are going to let's assume that this is the debug, just assume that this is the debug. Whenever if you are going to get the error before the debug, then we can say that is the compile time error. After debug, after once you are going to run the program, once you are going to execute the program, if you see that, then that's, if you see the any error, then that's called the runtime error. I will show you that what is the runtime error, how it's look like. Okay, so that is the difference. Compile time error in the sense before the debug, runtime error in the sense after the debug. So compile time error in the sense, so for example, when I'm going to remove the e. So now you see that, right? This is the run compile time error. Okay, so even if you say the compile time error, if you try to execute the program, you see the compile time error related issues. Now you see that, right? There is a build errors. Again, if you are going to remove the if you remove the something character, let's say I'm going to remove the close parenthesis of in the same line. Again, if you see here, again you cause the error. Okay, so if you wanted to see the all the errors, okay, whenever you are going to run the application, if you wanted to see the all the errors, you can see the all the errors in the errors list window. Let me close this errors window. Now if you wanted to, again, if you wanted to see the error list window, just go to the build and just click on build solution. Whenever you are going to click on build solution, what will be happen, right? If is there any compile time errors, those compile time errors will be displayed in the error list window. So again, let me build on solution here. I just click on that. Now you see that error list window. Okay, let me close. Again, if you go to the console, let me recorrect with the console here, and then let me close the bracket. Now if you build that, now you can't see the any error list. So the best practice is that whenever we are going to debug the application, that is the start without debugging, better always click on build solution. Once you are going to click on build solution, if you are having any compile time errors, those compile time errors will be displayed in the error list window. Just now we have seen that. Okay, now I'm saying that this will be cause the error, but this is not the compile time error. This will be the runtime error. So we see that before the program I unable to find out any error. Let's run the program. We will see what is that runtime error. So let me execute this. Okay, start without debugging. Now you see that this is the runtime error. Here exception in the sense nothing but error. Exception or error, both are same only. Okay, so here if you read the exception, system index out of range exception. The error is system index out of range exception. Index was outside the boundaries of the array. Okay, so now that is the issue. Now let me comment at this. And now if you see the line number 8, I can initialize the value in the different way also. I mean, I can initialize an array without the fixed size as well. So for that, let me copy this and paste here. I'm going to give the numbers group, let's say 2. So now let me remove the 2 value here, and then I'm going to give the values like 10 comma 20. Okay, so that means that without the fixed value also fixed size here, you can add the values whatever you want, you can add over here. But the thing is here, even in this case also, you can't give the value more than 2 values, because of while I'm going to declaring this numbers group, I have by default I have the 2 values. Okay, so you can't give the value more than that. So for example, let me give the numbers group 2. Let me give the, I'm going to give the some 10. I mean 10 in the sense 10 index. In the 10th index, I'm trying to give the 100 value. That means that in the, you are going to inserting the 100 in the index of 10, right? So for example, let me execute the code again. Now we see that line number 23, I mean this line number, that is index was outside the bounds of the array, the same exception. So let me close that. Again, you can reassign the value. So for example, while I am going to declare the numbers group, by default I have given the 2 values, right? So after initialization, if you wanted to replace the 10 with the some 100, yes, you can do that. But the thing is, you should give the 0 here. Now I'm having the array which is having the 10 and 20 while declared here like this. After that, next thing is I have replaced the 10 with the 100. So the output will be like this. So always index will be starts from the zeroth index, 0 and 1. Right. So now if I'm going to print the value of numbers group 0, now you see the output. See, there is no issue. And the numbers to zeroth index is 100. Now, if you wanted to access the any value from the index, yes, you can access the value from the value from the array by using the index signature. Let's say I'm going to take the one new array. Let me copy and paste here. I'm going to give the numbers group 3, and now I'm going to give the extra values like 30, 40, 50. As of now, I have inserted the 5 values in the numbers group container. Now I wanted to fetch the third index of this array. What is the third index of this array? Means this is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So third index of the 0 means this is 40. Okay, so let's print that value. Now if you see the output, you see that 40. Again coming to this line number 28, I can again without the new int also here, I can declare the array of the values. How is that in the sense? Let me copy this one and paste here. I'm going to give the as of now 4. Let's remove this one. That's no issues. In the numbers group 4 container, the third index is the 40. Right? So again, let's see the output. You see the same output.